Felix, it's so great to be with you again. I remember last time we were together face to face.
Yeah,
We were at your place in Dominican Republic.
that's right.
And you and your whole church and churches put on this big skit at the end of, what was it, a 3-day event or conference that we had together. We had a lot of different
Latin America conference.
Okay. Yeah. So there was like 10 or 12 different, 15 different, there was a lot of different countries represented there. You hosted it, your church hosted it, your church network hosted it. And then we had that big dancing. We were all dancing together.
Caribbean music.
And so that was quite the experience. But Felix, we want to talk about God has given you a work to do to bring the patterns of Acts back into our world. And tell us about how your first exposure to these patterns, to this paradigm of the way of Christ and his apostles. What did that look like?
Yeah, it's interesting because my first contact is about 1999. But at that time, I exposed to the book of Acts only, because don't access material in Spanish at the time. My brain, explodes. When I studied the book of Acts, incredible. But year later, 2011, we changed our paradigm to working with elders, and the normal question is, who trained the elders? Immediately, my mind thinking in Bill. And I contact again, and at that time, of course, I received the information and all of the material of the new paradigm, of the paradigm of the Christ and his apostle through Bill. And I decided to start again.
Okay, so you had to train your leaders.
Yeah, this is the
years
question.
later.
Yeah, I remember when the elders say, who trained us?
Who's going to train the leaders? Elders.
I say immediately, not the seminary.
Not the seminary.
Yeah, and remember Bill, and I start again.
So what in your first exposure, when you said Acts was incredible, explain what incredible means?
Because I remember I was studying at the seminary before, but never understand the role of the church. When I was studying the book of Acts the first time, I understood immediately the church is centralized in the Paul strategy to plant churches. Immediately. I never saw that when I was studying at the seminary. I never. And this is wow. This is the strategy that I need to plant churches in DR immediately.
So it sounds like you felt empowered.
Yeah.
At the time.
Yeah, but at the same time frustrated because I don't have more material, no contact with the people to help me, shepherd me in the process. This is good, but you don't have to continue.
So you felt empowered, but you also felt discontent and frustrated.
Yeah.
Because you didn't. How are you going to do this? How are you going to get this done?
That's right. Yeah, and in my DNA is how can the church is relevant to the city, to the neighborhood, and I continue to try to find the ways, and one verse of the Jesus discussion or Jesus teaching with the pastor, he say, how can you put the new wine in the old wine?
The old wineskins.
Oof. This is part of my life. How can you put the new wine? And I when I studied the book of Acts, I said, this is the new wine. But I have the old wines in my hands.
Wow.
This is incredible.
Wow. So you have been on quite a journey since then. So just give us a synopsis of that journey. So you start training your elders.
Yeah.
With the patterns that are from Acts and from the rest of the New Testament, using some of the resources. So what happened there? What was some of the next things that happened, or some of the notable events along the way that you began to try to implement more of these patterns in your churches? Because you at one point you had one singular church, and I know now you're a network of churches,
of course,
all over Santo Domingo,
the DR, completely,
and the whole in the whole Dominican Republic. So how did you get from training your elders and not sending your elders to a Bible college or to a seminary, but training them inside the church, to all the way now you have quite a network across the Dominican Republic, but you're also involved across all of Latin America.
Yeah.
So fill in those gaps. What happened between training your elders?
Let me try.
Okay.
Yeah, I began in 2014 training the leaders, but two years later, I worked with the whole churches. In that time, we had 7 churches, traditional but very contemporary churches. Little by little, and then come here to the first conference in 2016.
Okay, so you came to a conference.
Yeah, every year my mind changes continuously. And I took the big decision, Michael, because my job in that time is supervising the Caribbean for Missions Door and church planting DR, training leaders. But I decided to take sabbatical time to only dedicate time to study the new paradigm.
Okay.
And I put my mind 100% to study for 2 years.
For 2 years.
For 2 years, yeah.
And study the new paradigm.
The new paradigm.
Why were you convicted to do that?
Why? Because in my heart, I would like to know other people show me or tell me about the paradigm. My decision is I need to learn, I need to see in the Bible, I need to discover all of the elements of the new paradigm. Studying is not only listen in a conference or see far away. I need to view, I need to see in my ministry. And all of the study, the book of Acts, the Pauline letters, all of the material, immediately I start to implement in our ministry. And in that time, we decide to dedicate all the time to the new paradigm, study and teaching and implement in our ministry.
So you did this in your local churches? In Santo Domingo?
In Santo Domingo.
So you said, I believe what's going on around the world and what's going on at these conferences that you were attending here. But we need to be convicted ourselves of this.
Yes.
So we're going to.
Yes.
Okay.
And to deepen more and more, because in my DNA is if I see, for example, that you quote another author or another people, I would like to see that book. I need to say,
So if you see me quote Roland Allen,
I need to go to the Roland Allen book.
To see
2 years only, 100% of my time studied to discovering, and I'm impressed because in my mind, when I was finished the seminary, this is the paradigm that we needed. Immediately, this is. I decided not continue to put new wine
in old wine. Yeah. So what happened in your churches then after those 2 years?
All of our members started studying the first principle, the leaders studying the paradigm papers and the leadership series, and the revolution in the church.
It was a revolution.
The revolution in the church, because all of the people.
What does that mean?
All of the people studying and asking, and what is this? Why now? And little by little, the question is, and what is the next? And we decide to to start a process to moving to a network of house churches.
Into a network of churches.
Yeah, but our church, for all of the people inside and outside our church, the people imagine this is a good church. Why do we need to
change anything?
Yeah, why do you need to change to another paradigm, so the house church network? Because your church is good. We are happy here. But the elders team, the pastors team, the 7 churches, were sure that we need not a good church. We need a church like Jesus and the apostle imagined, to follow the Jesus and the apostle, not the good church for the 23rd century.
This sounds like a seriousness around what you read in the New Testament, which is there's a deposit that's been passed on,
right.
and we need to be faithful to that deposit.
Yeah. And this
okay.
is
so what happened then? You said the leaders are saying, "What's next?" Your people are saying, "What's next?"
Yeah.
Some of the people are saying, it sounds like, why do we need anything different than our Sunday morning events?
Yeah. We continue studying and studying the encyclicals, all of material, and we decide to start the process to the movement to the network of churches in 2020.
Okay, in 2020 you move into a network of churches.
Yeah, we start the process.
Okay.
But one maybe gap situation is the COVID-19.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because at the same time...
That you move into a network, the pandemic comes along.
Yeah, but we continue, and now we have 3 different clusters.
3 different clusters, which are groupings of churches.
Yeah, and 26 house churches.
And 26 churches.
Yeah, but the most important for me is we have a movement to start 5 different church planting movement in 5 different cities in the next 5 years. And we started last year.
Wow.
We call the 555.
The 555.
Yeah, but this is very interesting because we started church, but we working with the churches to establish. It's not only the church planting. It's church planting, establish churches, training leaders. It's a movement. This is very interesting. When I was studying the book of Acts and the Pauline letters, all of the churches, for me, is a movement. It's more than one church. It's a movement of the gospel in the city to see the city or see the country with only one church. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and this is my job now. In Dominican, but little by little, we start in the Caribbean, and I was working with the GRT to Latin America.
GRT, Global Resource Team, which looks after Latin America. So let's pause that for a minute. Let's review quickly your own situation, your own home situation, shall we call it, your home country of Dominican Republic. So you went from a singular church, then to studying for 2 years, a church of 7 distributed churches or a network of churches. Yep. And now during the pandemic, you went even further, but now you're at 26 different churches, almost 4 times the amount in different clusters. But you've got a vision now across the Dominican Republic to have 5 clusters in 5 different regions. Yeah. I don't know what
the next 5 years.
Over the next 5 years, over 5 years. That's right. Okay. Yeah, and what was the beautiful part, Felix, was coming in and for those 26 churches to host the Civilization entire conference, an event. Yeah. And then for them to do the food, for them to do all the administrative things, the airport runs, all the logistics, the housing of people living in each other's homes.
And we are
it's a family.
Yeah, and we are so happy because for the situation in another country in Latin America, the GRT decided to use in Dominica again for the second conference this year.
Okay, so in 2024,
we are
going to be back in the Santo Domingo
yes,
in Dominican Republic.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
And we are ready, very, very happy because we want it. We wanted to continue and to working with receiving all of the leaders from Latin America.
I want to go just so I can be part of that skit and that dancing afterwards. That was quite a...
Well, this year maybe we have more.
It's quite a Caribbean experience.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so you've been faithful in the Dominican Republic, a huge work.
Yeah.
But now you tell us just a little bit, finish us off with what has been happening across all of Latin America. This is not only true for your field of work, but this is also true you're seeing across many other countries and many other spheres with many other apostolic type leaders like yourself that are sent to their field to work. Tell us what else you're seeing and why you're encouraged for the rest of Latin America.
Yeah, I think God prepared for that time to working with Latin America because I was studying in Guatemala, serving our missions in the Caribbean. I have a lot of contacts in Latin America. And the last year, our network decided to help me and support I go way outside to work with Southern, not only in Dominican. My job is Southern, is working.
Is what word?
Southern.
Sodal.
Yeah, Southern.
Yeah, so apostolic, so sent out like Acts 13.
Participating local.
Sent out.
But sent out. And the first time this year, our network provide a budget to working outside.
Wow.
Outside in DR, but outside in Latin America too. And this is very important for me because this is my goal, this is my heart, to helping another churches and organization, denomination, to moving, to open the eyes and moving to the new paradigms, the way of Christ and his apostle. And I am working with the GRT in Cuba, Mexico, Venezuela, and another part of the team in Argentina, Chile. But this is very strategic for me because 555 project, the second stage is moving to another country. From our network, planting churches in another country. And this is a bit very, very important combination because this our network working with the GRT and another networks in Latin America to build up a complex network.
Wow.
And this little by little, but this is my goal, this is my heart.
Yeah. Well, so what we're hearing is that you in the Blessing Network, is it?
Yeah,
that's the name of the Blessing Network. And you're going to be able to go and expand the Blessing Network, but also you're going to be able to be part of going out and helping people find the way and understand the way of Christ and his apostles. The patterns, the same patterns that you've been embracing for 24, 25 years now, and how you've been implementing over the last decade. And you hope to do that with people all across Latin America.
Yes.
So, and of course, we have to expand it even further than that, Felix, because you're here now. There's countries and represented from all over the world here, but certainly 50-some countries around the world that have seen a call to get back to these patterns, and you've been part of this global movement family for many of these years. 2016 was your first time here?
Yeah.
In this.
Yeah. And this is incredible.
So
if you, for me, feel of the part of the global family, this is a huge and very, very encourage me to continue to go now.
Yeah.
It's good.
Well, we all are sent out to do the work that we read about in the New Testament, and it's so inspiring. It's so, I don't know, we need a stronger word. It's so empowering to know that we can be about what we read about.
Yeah.
In the letters, we can do the same thing.
Yeah. This is incredible.
And we can be
It's not only in the Bible, you can live in now in my situation, my country, and another countries. This is incredible.
Yeah, we can experience Acts today.
Yeah, that's right.
Amen. Well, let's experience Acts today and tomorrow and the rest of our lives.
Yeah, and I think that the future and the best for our ministries is in the future. Yeah, the present, but moving for the future. I hope to see a movement of blessing churches in another country and the diaspora United States or maybe Europe. This is my goal.
Yeah.
And the present moving to the future is a wonderful picture for the future for our nation.
Yeah. The Latino diaspora is all over the world.
Yep.
So I look forward to being with you on that journey.
Yeah. Perfect.